Hey gang, AV here. Welcome to my review of the GI Joe Retaliation Firefly figure. Here he is in the packaging. As you can see, he's a blister carded figure with the vast majority of his accessories visible in the bubble there. The stickers are covering up the product shot there on the front of the box, but basically, I got him for $250 on clearance at Kmart. This was one of the first two waves of Retaliation figures, which did not go over that well in stores because of the limited articulation, paint apps, and so on and so forth. Plus, the movie was postponed, so there wasn't a cross sell there. It's a real shame what happened with this line. I'll get into it in more detail later on, but anyway, back of the box. You have some other product shots there. It shows the power-up glow from the handle, which I will show off in a minute. It's not quite that dramatic, but hey. Up here at the top, it says, Evil Cobra Explosives Expert Firefly lights up the night as he rides his power-charged blast board into battle, loaded with explosive canisters. The board makes him a dangerous threat to the GI Joe team. Ooh. So anyway, that's about all I gotta say about the packaging. Let's have a look at the figure himself, which is right here. Before we have a look at him, though, I'm gonna have a look at a couple of his accessories here. Namely, he does come with a alternate head, which is the masked version of Firefly. I do kind of like the fact that they continued the camouflage on here. It's not just a plain green. It does look good on the figure, which I'll demonstrate in a minute. This is one of two of his guns. This one in particular always falls out when I have him on the board, and I will go over the other drawbacks to the board itself in a second. It's a nice pistol, though. The other pistol's still in his holster. He also has the explosives canister, which I jokingly refer to as his thermos of soup, because it's just, I don't know. I don't particularly remember him using an explosive canister from the film. I could be wrong, but I don't think it looked like this either. So, anyway. Let us take the figure off of here. Have a look at his board. Now, it has a light up feature as shown on the packaging, and believe it or not, the lights are on. I'll turn off a couple of my studio lights here, see if it shows up a little bit better. Yeah, I mean, there it is. It's supposed to make his arms glow when he holds onto the thing. Honestly, it's really not that impressive. Button to activate that is right back here. Just turn that off. This also fires the canister from the front, which you do by pushing this button here. Very dramatic. It does roll pretty freely. It's not too bad that way. I will say I don't particularly care for it for this particular figure, mostly because the figure has these two hip holsters here, which really get in the way when you try to get him to sit in this thing and hold on to the handles. It is possible, but in order to do so, you gotta get his ass up in the air, which just doesn't look right. And again, by doing that, his one pistol always falls out of his holster. I actually lost it for a little while and luckily found it again while I was testing the figure out. But anyway, I mean, this is the little power-up glows rocket, this demolition sled thing that he comes with. It's not too bad, but it ain't too great either. I mean, it's better than a rocket launcher, but it is what it is. So anyway, let's have a look at the figure himself. Have a look at some of his detail. I don't particularly care for the fact that he has an unmasked head, although it's not a bad head. I mean, definitely use that for other stuff. he actually has some excellent paint applications there on his back. Really a big fan of that. I think that looks really good. He does have translucent plastic for his forearms as part of the sled gimmick, but again, it doesn't really work that well. Not too bad. Let's go over his articulation, which is going to be somewhat lacking. His head is on a ball joint. It can do a full 360, but you have to get his chin up over the collar there. He can look forward, not really up. Look down, pretty good. Tilt from side to side to get some expression out of him. That's pretty good. Let's pop this head off, have a look at the other head on the figure. There we go. And I think that looks pretty decent, actually. I do kind of like that. He has a cobra sigil there on his shirt. Another one there on his arm. Anyway, I lost my train of thought there. Arms will do a full 360. Point his arms up about that high. Nothing at the bicep. He has a elbow joint. Gets almost 90 degrees out of that. Can do a full rotation there. And that's about it. Because of the gimmick, there is no wrist articulation at all. This is all one molded piece of transparent plastic that is painted over with black gloves and some camo detail on the inside of his forearm. But because of the gimmick, it's all just one piece. So that sucks. He's got his diaphragm joint here, which gets a good decent range of motion there. Hips, kick his legs up about that high. Back a little bit. You can do the splits about like that, which is not too bad. Single jointed knee, and that's it. Nothing at the ankle either. So again, let's have a look at his pistol before I go into my rant. Here's his little pistol here. I apologize, my video is all over the place. This is actually the first video I filmed this morning, so I am a little out of practice. But anyway. So anyway, this is one of the first releases of this particular line. Like, he was either in wave 1 or 2, I don't particularly remember. But he's not a very impressive figure because of that. Because when Retaliation came out, it was right on the heels of the Pursuit of Cobra line, which was retailing about $7, and they had excellent sculpts, excellent articulation, and loads of accessories. These came out for $10, limited articulation, limited paint apps, limited accessories, most of which had some sort of gimmick, and they were based on a movie that was delayed and wasn't even out yet. So they really didn't have a lot going for them when these figures first came out. The sales suffered greatly because of that as well, to the point where stores like Target and Walmart weren't ordering new ones because they couldn't get rid of the ones they already had. That is why the Ultimate Wave and the Wave 3 figures, even though Hasbro had corrected the problem and had better articulation, paint apps, etc. on those figures, they were harder to get because most stores weren't ordering it. But anyway, this figure, he's okay. I mean, he's a placeholder. He looked good as a vehicle driver, in my opinion. He lacks quite a lot of articulation. However, the design of his costume is pretty cool. Like I said, I really like the paint on his back there. He might make a good like motorcycle driver or something, where you would actually see the paint on his back. I don't think he looks too bad, but unfortunately, his articulation is really hurting him. So anyway, here he is next to a vintage GI Joe figure, Snake Eyes. Sizes up pretty good with him. Here he is next to a vintage collection Luke Skywalker. A Boss Fight Studio Blank. He's a little bit taller than him. A Marvel Universe Captain America figure, noticeably taller. And a Master Chief from the World of Halo line. So all in all, I don't think he's bad, but he ain't great. And as you saw, I bought my other one here at $2.50. I don't think I paid more than $4 for this particular one when I bought them at the time. I definitely got these guys on clearance, and I'm glad I did. I don't think I would pay full price for these things, or even anything more than $5, frankly. If you're a fan of this particular thing, it's not too bad, but it ain't too great either. I mean, even the thing that identifies this as a Cobra vehicle is right there. So when you have the figure in it, you're not going to be able to see that. The light up feature really is practically non-existent. And you saw that it launched his thermos of scalding hot chicken corn chowder soup. Like, not that great. So anyway, I really can't recommend this guy, unfortunately, except for as a clearance figure, and that's only if you're going to use him in the background somewhere or as a vehicle driver. He just doesn't have enough going for him to pay $10 or anything even close to that. So anyway, this has been AV. This has been my review of the GI Joe Retaliation Firefly. Next week, however, I will have a review of the Ultimate Firefly, which is much better than this one. So hang in there for that. If you like this video, check out my channel. If you like what you see there, then please subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.